We thank you for all of the blessings and grace you continuously give us for the gift of life, family, and friends. We are hoping and praying that as we go along with our discussion today, may you continually bless us in everything that we do. All of this we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. In the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good evening po sa ating lahat. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Okay.
Good evening po, sir.
Good evening po. Okay, salamat po. And as what I mentioned, if possible, let's mute po, no? Especially if we don't have the intention of talking. And I hope that we will utilize the chat for our answers. Maraming salamat po. Okay. So I hope that you received the PDF copy. So good evening po sa ating lahat. And I'm hoping that we are having a great time so far and be safe so far amidst what's happening right now. So I believe you have the PDF copy of the file, and for the directions, write the letter of the correct answer before the number. If the correct answer is not found among the choices, write E. Okay, I believe we are ready. Let's have item number 1. The perimeter of an equilateral triangle and a square are both equal to 60 centimeters. How many shorter is a side of the square than a side of a triangle? Is it 3, 5, 7, or 9? What do you think po? Paki-chat na lang po. Okay, let's see. So many of you or some of you answered B. And let's see if B is correct. So we know that an equilateral triangle has 3 equal sides. That's why, since it has a perimeter of 60, then each side has a length of 60 divided by 3 cm, by 3, which is 20 cm. It's understood to be in cm, by the way. And how about the length of each side of this square? That would be 60 divided by 60 cm divided by 4 cm, which is 15 cm a side. And since we are talking about the difference, so subtracting 20 cm by 15 cm gives us 5 cm. Indeed, letter B is the correct answer. So to everyone who got it, great job po. So good start. Let's proceed. Okay, good job po. Thank you. So 5 po. Let's proceed to item number 2. Only 65 people are allowed inside the bus during the field trip. If a school has 460 students who will join the field trip, how many buses are needed? Did you go for 5, 6, 7, or 8? So, Sir Freddy, Ma'am Bernie mentioned D, 8 daw. So, marami, or so far, to everyone who commented, your answer is D. So, 8 din daw, sabi ni Ma'am Pinalda. And okay, let's see if tama rin si Ma'am Gladys. Tignan natin. So, for this one, this could actually be solved with the aid of division. Be reminded lang po, if possible. Okay, so permit me to mute you po. Sorry po. So this B could be solved by division. So remember that each bus has a capacity of 65 students. So dividing, we have 460 divided by 65. That gives us 7 buses, but you have a remainder of 5. Okay? However, you have to ask yourself, will it be 7? And ano mangyayari sa 5 na to? Sabihin nyo, sir, tatayo na lang sila sa ibang Di ba? Merong 7 bus. Yung iba, pwedeng tatayo na lang siguro, no? But again, the problem is saying, or baka pwedeng upuan na lang yung lap ng ibang tao. But again, only 65 per bus. That means to say that since you have a remainder here, it's very okay, kandong lang daw or standing. O lalaki po ako, sir. Ay, sorry po, Sir Bernie, sorry po. So, baka sabihin yung tayo na lang kayo. But again, we have to provide extra accommodation for this. So you need to have +1. That's why 8 buses are needed. And for this particular case, we will go with D. And you might say, sir, 5 talaga? 5 tao lang sa iisang bus? Hindi naman sa ganon. Probably, the best thing to do here is to spread them evenly to the other buses so that other buses might not be too crowded. So we go with letter D. So tama po. Okay, so kandong lang daw, sana all. Okay, number 3 po. Which of the following is the biggest? Is it 2 raised to 25, 3 raised to 20, 5 raised to 15, or 7 raised to 10? Did you go for A, B, C, or D? Sabi ni Sir Bernie, letter C daw. Okay, tingnan natin naman yan yung sagot ng iba. Sabi ni Ma'am Rebecca, ni Sir Pinelda, ni Sir McBrien, C din daw. Sabi ni Ma'am Rona, letter C. Okay, anong technique po o ano po yung ginawa ninyo? Ginamit yung calculator nyo siguro, no? Parang in-encode nyo lang. Tama po ba? Oh, calculator daw. Okay, so okay din po yan. No problem po. Take note. What's more important is that you get the correct answer. Sometimes encoding in the calculator will give you the best, the fastest time possible. Now, let's do this the algebraic way. Okay, tingnan po ninyo. Tingnan po ninyo yung exponents nila. 25, 20, 15, at saka 10. Ano po yung greatest common factor ng kanilang exponents? Yung GCF ng exponents natin ay?
5.
5, tama po. So with that, we will actually utilize your algebraic processes. And remember po, for example, if you have 2 raised to 25, we could express, we could factor out 5 here. So 25 divided by 5 will be 5 also. That's the reason that we could actually express it as 2 raised to 5 quantity to the 5th power. Tama po ba? And tandaan po natin, if you are raising a power to a power, you simply copy the common base, the base, and multiply their exponents. So 2 raised to 5 times 5, it's 25. So equal din po sila. It's just that in-express lang po natin yung exponent niya as 5 times 5. So we know that 2 raised to 5 here is ano siya? That's 2 times 2, 4, times 2, 8, times 2, 16, times 2, 32. That's why simplifying what is inside the parentheses gives you 32 raised to 5. Okay? How about yung ikalawa naman po? Yung ikalawa kasi natin, is ano nga yun? 7 raised to 20 ba yun? Nakalimutan ko. Yung ikalawa ay 3 raised to 20. Ano pong mangyayari dito? That would be 3 raised to what? Magiging?
81 raised to the 5th, sir.
Tama. Magiging 81. Magiging 3 to the 4th ito, to the 5th, or 81 to the 5th. How about yung letter C po?
$125 to the 5th.
125 to the 5th. How about yung last po?
2 times 5, 49 raised to the 5th.
Tama. Ito po ay magiging 49 to the 5th power. So ito po sila. And we have to remember po, if natural numbers are raised to the same base, then the expression with the largest base will be the largest number. Hence, 5 raised to 15 or letter C is the largest here. Okay? Nakuha po natin yung ating yung explanation po.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, is it okay if I may proceed? Or would you like to, you're still digesting?
Proceed, sir.
Okay, salamat po. Number 4. Kim added 2 to a number, then divided the sum by 3. He multiplied the quotient by 10, then subtracted 7 from the product and got a difference of 23. What was the number he started with? Okay, started with wait. Did you go for 5, 6, 7, or 8? Sige, tignan po natin yung sagot ninyo. Ay okay. Sige po. So marami sa inyo yung sumagot ng C. Tanong ko lang po, anong method po yung ginamit ninyo?
Calculator technique, sir.
Calculator technique? Okay. Yung iba po, let's see.
Algebra lang ito, sir.
Algebra yung ginamit? Okay. Baka iba iPhone yung ginamit, hindi naman. Okay. Now, huwag kang palata, sir. Okay po. Actually, this problem is solvable by simple working backwards. Ito po siya. Saglit lang po may lumitaw. This actually entails working backwards po. So, take note po natin. Ano yung inverse operation ng addition? Anong inverse operation niya? Subtraction. That's why tandaan po natin. Addition and subtraction are inverse operations of one another. Also, multiplication and division are inverse operations of one another. Okay? So, dito po, dahil pabalik po tayo, ano po yung inverse operation ni minus 7?
Plus 7.
Plus 7. So, 23 plus 7 po.
30.
30. So, yung number dito ay 30. Dito nag-times 10 ka. Ano yung inverse ng times 10?
Divide 10.
Divided by 10, di ba? So, 30 divided by 10 po.
3.
Tama. So, dapat 3 yan dito. Tapos, ano sunod? Dahil nag-divide by 3 ka.
Times 3.
Times 3. So, 3 times 3 would give you 9. So, 9 po dyan. And lastly po, nag-plus 2 ka dito.
9
minus 2. So, 7. Indeed, letter C po yung ating tamang sagot. Nakuha po natin.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, next time po na maka-encounter kayo ng ganyang problem, you could actually approach it that way. Okay. Number 5. In a basket factory, Mario can finish 5 baskets. Before we discuss this one, for calculator technique po, I think, hindi po ako sure, kasi I think it's better to do the usual plus, minus, times, or divide lang po. If you do,
Madali lang naman, sir, kung naiintindihan mo yung yung pag-plot ng equation.
Or kung gumawa ka naman po ng equation na algebra, ay palagay ko lang po parang mas matagal pa siya. So I think working backwards will do the trick here po. Salamat po. Okay, try nyo po ito. Number 5. In a basket factory, Mario can finish 5 baskets in 3 hours, while Jose can finish 10 baskets in 4 hours. If they work at the same rate, how many baskets can they finish together in 12 hours? Did you go for 40, 50, 54, or 60?
15 plus.
Okay, sige. Let's see. So far, I received the following responses. Many of you answered 50. Okay? 50 nga ba? Sige. Tingnan po natin. So let's have a quick solution to this. If Mario can finish 5 baskets in 3 hours, may ilang 3 hours po sa 12 hours?
4.
May 4 na 3 hours, di po ba? That means 4 times 5. Therefore, Mario can finish 20 baskets in 12 hours. Also, Jose can finish 10 baskets in 4 hours. So, may ilang 4 na oras? How about in 12 hours?
3 hours.
3 hours. 3.
Ay, diba tatlo, di ba? There are 3 4-hour time periods in 12 hours. So that's why, ilan po yung kayang i-finish ni Jose in 12 hours?
30.
Tama. That would be 3 times 10 or 30 baskets in 12 hours for Jose. And what do we do with 20 and 30?
Addition.
Addition lang po. That's why, all in all, they can finish 20 plus 30 or 50 baskets. Letter B. Magaling, magaling, magaling. So far, so good po. Okay. Number 6. A taxi charges 40 pesos flag down rate for the first kilometer and 3 pesos and 50 centavos for every succeeding 200 meters thereafter. How much will you pay after traveling for 2.4 kilometers? Did you go for 45 pesos and 50 centavos, 50 pesos, 64 pesos and 50 centavos, or 68 pesos? Ano yung pagkakaintindi po ninyo sa 40 pesos flag down rate for the first kilometer? Ano po yun?
It will be added by the 350 additional 200 meters. Every
Pero
additional.
ito po muna, kapag sinabi mong flag down rate for the first kilometer, ano pong ibig? Like nagka-taxi ka po, ano yun?
Yung first 1 kilometers or 40 pesos na po.
Exactly. So, pero how about this? How about yung trinapel ng taxi ay less than 1 kilometer? Will you still pay 40
Bubayad ka pa rin
pesos?
po ng kahit na umakyat ka lang, saka bumaba ka after 30 seconds, 40 pesos pa rin yun, sir.
In other words, tama po. In other words po,
Automatic
na-consume
yun.
man, nakatravel man yung taxi ng 1 kilometer or less, you still have to pay 40 pesos for that. Okay? So, if you could see for this problem, let's see, marami po sa inyo ang sumagot ng C. Okay, tama po Sir McBrien. First, 1,000 meters, charge kanya ng 40 pesos. Tama po. With this, so alam natin na 40 pesos for 1 kilometer distance. So may ilang distance pa ba yung i-charge niya? Ilang distance?
1.2.
1.4 kilometers.
4 kilometers.
Tama po. So that's why 2.4 kilometers minus 1 kilometer gives you 1.4 kilometers. This means that for every 200 meters, tandaan po natin that 1.4 kilometers is 1,400 meters, no? Kasi 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Bawat 200 meters, i-charge kanya ng 350, di po ba? That's why dividing 1,400 meters by 200 meters, it's 7. That means what? 7 what? You will be charged an additional 3 pesos and 3 pesos and 50 centavos 7 times. That's why you will be charged an extra 7 times 3 pesos and 50 centavos or 24 pesos and 50 centavos, and that gives you 40 plus 24, 50 pesos or 64 pesos and 50 centavos. Indeed, letter C. So sa lahat po ng sumagot ng C, you got it right. Tama po. Good job po sa ating lahat. Okay. Number 7. May tanong po or may I proceed? Okay. I will proceed if there's no question. The sum of two numbers is 80. What is the sum of two other numbers so that the average of the four numbers is 37.5? Okay. How do we get this kaya? Letter C, yung sagot ng karamihan. Sa lahat ng sumagot so far, letter C yung sinagot nila. Okay, ano pong technique dito? Or paano ba ito gawin? Anyone po? Sige. Sabi ni Sir McBrien, 37.5 times 4. Okay. Tapos ano po? Tapos subtract 80 sa product ng 37.5 at 4. You got it right actually. Tama po, sir. Salamat po. Because remember that the average or the mean of a certain set of numbers is equal to the sum of these numbers divided by the number of scores. So by manipulation, the sum of the numbers is the number of scores times the average. That's why you have 4 times 37.5. The sum of all these four numbers is 150. But since yung dalawa sa kanila ay nag-add up na to 80, then all we have to do is subtract 80 from 150 and you got 70. Letter C. Thank you po. Okay. Pasado na to.
No.
Okay.
You will purchase or you
Okay.
will wait for them.
Number 8, of course, no? Push po natin. Number 8. There are 10 vehicles composed of bicycles and tricycles. Huwag niyo po akong tanungin kung ilan po yung wheels ng bicycle at tricycle, ha? Okay. If there are 23 wheels in all, how many tricycles are there? 2, 3, 4, or 5? At saka, for this problem na po pala, assume po natin na wala pong spare tire, ha? Baka sabihin nyo, sir, yung tricycle namin, 4 yung gulong. Kasi may spare tire na isa. For this problem, we will assume na wala pong spare tire. Okay, so ilan kaya? Okay, marami sa inyong sumagot ng B. Okay, so let's see if 3 is correct. To do such, we could actually employ systems of linear equations. So we could have it 1 variable or 2 variables, depende po yun sa atin. For the meantime, I will use 2 variables. So B stands for bicycle, number of bicycles. T stands for number of tricycles. There are 10 in all. So B plus T equals 10. Ano yung ating second equation? Palagay niyo po.
Magiging ano na to, 2b plus 3c equal ng tayo.
Okay, tama po, no? A bicycle has 2 wheels, a tricycle has 3 wheels, and 2b represents the number of wheels, the total number of wheels of all the bicycles, whereas 3t represents the total number of wheels of the 3 tricycles. And all in all, we have to add them, equals 23. Now, okay, thank you po, Sir McBrien. Tama po. That's why po, for now, you could use either elimination, substitution, or whatever po, no? We will eliminate B so that we have to multiply both sides by of the first equation by 2. Pwede ring negative 2, depende sa iyo. To arrive to 2b, dito po, no? Multiplying both sides by 2 of the first equation, we have 2b plus 2t equals 20. Then just copying the second equation. Take note, ginawa ko pong parehas yung absolute values ng numerical coefficients ng b because of my intention is to eliminate b since I'm just after the number of tricycles. That's why by subtraction, 2b minus 2b is 0. 2t minus 3t is negative t, and 20 minus 23 is negative 3. Multiplying both sides of this by negative 1, we get t equals 3. Hence, we could say that there are 3 tricycles, letter B. I hope nakuha po natin. All right. Move on. Number 9. If 25% of a number is 50, what is 75% of the number? Did you go for 75, 100, 125, or 150? Sige po. Marami po sa inyong sumagot ng D. D, wow. Okay, sige. Tingnan po natin kung tama si D. Okay. Okay, ano pong technique niyo dito?
Tiningnan lang, sir. Ang 25 is 50. Multiply mo sa 4. So, 200 siya. Ngayon, i-divide mo ulit sa 4 ang 200. 150 yung 75%.
Okay. Actually, marami pong technique dito.
25.
That one was mentioned by... Ano ngayon, ano mo, sir? Yung first name mo, sir?
Freddy.
Sir, okay, Sir Freddy. Okay, yung may iPhone po. Okay. Actually, tama po yung ginawa niya. No? So, yung kay Sir Freddy, kinuha niya talaga yung base, which is 200. At saka kinuha yung 75% ng number. Meron din tayong isang technique na hindi natin kailangan niya. Tama. I agree with the same solution po ako kay Sir McBrien. Diba, 25% of a number is 50. We are looking for 75% of a number. If you could see po, you could multiply 25% by 3 to get 75%. So you multiplied here by 3. So sa 50, dapat times 3 din po tayo. That's why 25% times 3 is 75%. 50 times 3 is 150. So 75% of a number is 150, letter D. Nakuha po natin.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pero kung ginawa niyo po ninyo yung kay Sir Freddy po, tama din po yun. Tandaan po natin, marami pong shortcut sa math, marami pong paraan. No? So, balang araw po kapag naging guro kayo din, tandaan po natin ha, honor din po natin yung kanilang sagot, yung kanilang process as long as it is sound as well. Salamat po. Number 10.
Sir,
Mr.
pag teacher ka na ba, sir?
Yes, sir.
Pwede mo rin bigyan ng additional points yung isang estudyante na dalawa ang solution sa isang problem?
Ako kasi, depende po. Ako kasi, nakaset ako eh. Depende po yun sa teacher, no? Sa akin po kasing subject, sineset ko yung number of points sa bawat item. So, sabi ko sa kanila, one is enough. Okay na yan. If you wanted to, go ahead. Pero you will still have the same points. Pero, kapag kayo po ay naging guro, inyo po ang discretion yan. Discretion na po ninyo yan. Okay. I hope I answered your question po. May additional points pa ba, sir? Pag sinulat sa questionnaire ang solution sa answer? Sa multiple choice, I doubt. Unless you required po kayo. May mga teacher po kasi na nag-multiple choice, pero required yung solution for that multiple choice problem. The same po nung aming comprehensive exam, no? Sa PhD po, no? Comprehensive exam namin. May isang teacher, multiple choice ha, pero required kaming magsulat ng, kahit true or false niya, required naming lagyan ng reasoning yung test niya. So, depende po sa inyo. Okay, letter number 10. Mr. Encho earns 120,000 pesos every month. of which 30,000 of his income goes to food. How many degrees is that central angle on the pie chart that represents food? Did you go for 60, 90, 120, or 150? Okay, let's read some of your answers. Okay, many of you answered B. Bakit po? Bakit po B?
Sir, sa akin, sir, dinivide ko yung 120,000 sa 30,000, sir. Tapos nakuha yung 4, tapos times ko siya sa, dinivide ko sa 360, sir. Kaya nakuha ko yung 90.
Okay, tama po yun, sir. Thank you po. We have to remember that 30,000, no? You could get a fraction of that, no? I mean, 30,000 is 1/4 of 120,000. Tama po ba? Kasi if you divide 30,000 divided by 120,000, it will give you 0.25 or 1/4. Therefore, it also, by virtue of proportion, it also should appear as 1/4 of a circle. And we know that the whole circle is 360 degrees when we're talking about the central angle or even the arc itself. So 1/4 of 360 degrees is 90 degrees. Yan po yung sector, yung angle ng sector na nakalaan para sa ating food. So B po yung ating tamang sagot. Okay. Sir McBrien, thank you po. Salamat po sa lahat ng sumagot. Number 10. What is the maximum number of intersections of 4 distinct line segments? Did you go for 1, 5, 6, or 9? Okay, let's see. So, yan po. May sumagot. Okay. Marami po sa inyo sumagot ng C. Ano pong ginawa natin? Dinraw po ba ninyo yung apat na lines?
Drawing.
Okay, so no problem with that po, no? And actually, okay, no problem po. Kasi maliit lang naman yung 4 segments eh. So I believe it's manageable. Aside from drawing, the formula to determine the number of points of intersection of n distinct line segments is in fact n permutation 2. Or it could be simplified as P equals n times n minus 1 all over 2, where n represents the number of distinct line segments. So if you could see from here, since your n is 4, so you have 4 times 3 divided by 2, that gives you 6 indeed. Okay, so letter C po yung ating tamang sagot. But at least po, don't worry. This formula might be useful most likely if you have a lot of line segments, but 4 is just manageable. You could actually draw them. Okay. Number 12. I hope nakuha po natin. Number 12. If x equals y fifths and 5x equals 7, what is y? Did you go for 7, 2, 28, or 14? Okay, let's wait for others to respond. Okay? Marami sa inyong sumagot ng 7. Okay, paano po ninyo ginawa ito? If you don't mind po, ano pong process ninyo?
Systems of equations, sir.
Like what po?
Since x is equals to y over 5, anong muna y is equal to 5x, then 5x is equals to 7, i-equate po sila sa 0 na dalawa, and then i-subtract mo.
Okay.
Automatic mawawala ang 5x, y is equal to 7.
Tama po. Or, in my case, I use the transitive property. If yung iba po siguro yung ginawa ninyo is, sa 5x equals 7, dinivide niyo both sides by 5. So, x is equal to 7/5. Tapos, sinubstitute nyo dito, no problem po. Maraming paraan eh. Yung ginawa ko naman po is, in the equation y over y/5 equals x, I multiply both sides with 5. That's why I have y equals 5x. Tama po? Tapos, with that, if y is equal to 5x and 5x is equal to 7, then by the transitive property of equality, we could say that y is equal to 7. Tandaan po natin, yung transitive property of equality po is, if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C. That's why yun po yung reasoning na ginamit ko. Pero kung iba man po yung paraan natin, basahin po natin. Yung kay Sir McBrien, tama nga. Di ba? Yun yung sinabi ko kanina, no? Yung nag-divide ka both. Sa 5x equals 7, nag-divide ka both sides by 5. Nag-substitution, okay, tama rin po yan. That's why y equals 35/5 or 7. Tama po. So marami po tayong paraan. No? So pili lang po kayo. Piliin nyo lang po yung suitable sa taste ninyo. Okay? Now, so that's letter A po. Tama. A nga po ba? O tama. Number 13. A class is composed of 18 boys and 12 girls. In a quiz, the average score of the boys was 85, while the girls was 88. Find the average score for the entire class. So to solve this problem, all you have to do is get the sum of the boys' scores. That's 18 times 85, or 1,530. Also, there are 12 girls, and there are 88. 88 is their average. So to get the sum of their scores, just multiply 12 and 88, or 1,056. So the sum of all the 30 scores is 2,586. And remember that arithmetic mean or average is equal to the sum divided by the number of scores. Hence, that's 2,586 divided by 30, or 86.2. Letter A. Okay, so I hope you got it. Number 14. A cylinder and a cone have equal heights and radii of their circular bases. If the area of the cylinder is 30 inches cubed, what is the volume of a cone? Did you go for 10, 20, 30, or 90 inches cubed? Okay, Teacher Shal, Ma'am Elisa, Sir Freddy, Ma'am Pinelda answered letter A. Okay? Naniniwala ba kayo sa letter A? And let's see if that is correct. D daw, sabi ni Sir McBrien. Okay. Tignan po natin kung saan sa kanila yung tama. We have to remember this. If a cylinder and if you have a cylinder and a cone that have equal radii of their circular bases and heights, then we have to remember this point, that the volume of a cone is actually the volume of the cylinder divided by 3. Or in simple terms, the volume, or in other terms rather, the volume of a cone is 1/3 the volume of your cylinder. And applying, we know that the volume of the cylinder in this problem is 30 inches cubed. Dividing it by 3 gives you 10 inches cubed as the volume of your cone. So if you answered letter A po, you got it right. It's okay po, no worries po. What's more important is we did our best. Okay. Number 15. 28 students passed, while 20% failed in a departmental exam. How many were tested? Did you go for 38, 35, 44, or 32 students? Anyone? $35? Okay, marami sa atin yung sumagot ng B, 35. And let's see if you got it. We know that 20% did not make it. So with such, subtracting that from 100% gives you 80% of the population, or those who took the test rather, passed. And we know that for the meantime, we don't know how many students there are. So let X be the number of students. And we could say then that since 80% passed, so 80% of X passed, and we know that information is 28 students. And for such, we know that 80% could be converted to decimal or percent. I utilized fraction rather, or decimal. In my case, I utilized the fraction equivalent. So that's 80 over 100, or 4/5. And 4/5 of X is 28. Multiplying both sides by 5 gives you 4X equals 140. And dividing both sides by 4 gives you X equals 35. Or if you wish to make it simple, so that's 28 times 5/4, or the reciprocal. Letter D nga po yung ating sagot dito. Okay. Boy rather, B. 16. Tama po. So good job po sa lahat ng sumagot. Great. An isosceles triangle has a perimeter equal to 42 inches, and the two equal sides are each 3 times as long as the third side. How long is the third side? Is it 18, 21, 6, or 8? Let's read the chat. Many of you answered letter C, 6. Okay, so let's see if 6 is right. For the meantime, if we let X to be the third side, we know that the two other sides are 3 times as long as the third side. So if 3X is the length of the two equal sides, so therefore that would be adding everything to get the perimeter. That would be 3X plus 3X plus X equals 42. That's 7X equals 42. So X is 6 indeed. Therefore, since you are looking for the third side, so therefore that's it. So 6 is the length of the third side, C. Nice. Next po. Let's proceed to number. I hope na nakuha po natin. May tanong po?
Wala na po.
Okay, sige po. Thank you. Number 17. At what simple interest rate should 24,000 be invested so that it will earn 7,200? It will be 7,200 in 5 years. Okay. Let's see your responses. Letter B. Many of you answered letter B. Okay. Bakit? Let's see. Okay, ano pong ginawa ninyo? Anyone po?
I is equal to PRT po.
Okay, tama po yun. That's the formula for simple interest. I equals PRT. Pero, what else? Ano yung next step na ginawa ninyo?
Since I is equals to 7,200 is equal to principal na 24,000 times the R, which is unknown, and the time, which is 5 years.
Okay,
Then you manipulate it to isolate the R.
tama po.
Which,
So that's actually correct, sir. Excuse me,
iPhone na lang sir, tinanggap ko na yun eh.
Sir Freddy. Okay. Okay, nandiyan ka po. Don't worry. So I equals PRT. So tumubo po siya ng 7,200 po ba? Di po ba? Tandaan po natin ha that this is the formula for simple interest. Si Sir iPhone, no, mayaman. Okay. So take note din po that the time should be in years in using this formula. So by substitution po, that 7,200 it's equal to your principal amount, which is 24,000 yung ininvest mo, for a certain interest rate na R, we don't know that yet, for a time of 5 years. That's why R is 5. And with such po, I multiplied the 24,005, that's 120,000 R sa right-hand side natin. 7,200 naman sa ating left-hand side. And of course, to isolate R, we have to divide both sides by 120,000. That's why doing such gives you R, which is 0.06. Converting this to percent, we have to multiply it by 100% and attach the percent sign, or simply move the decimal point 2 places going to the right. That is why it's 6%, letter B indeed. Okay, I hope you got it po. Now, okay, so far let's see the chat. Oh, tama. Minsan tama po 'yun, Ma'am Loren, no? Minsan nga po totoo po 'yun. Mas mabilis pong mag-trial and error. That's why mahalaga din po sa atin minsan to ask ourselves, when will the answer be known as fast as possible? Is it possible kaya na mas mabilis siya kung algebra yung gamitin mo? O mas mabilis kaya siya kung trial and error yung gawin mo? So you do what do you believe is good. Yan po yung isa sa mga mahalagang bagay na kailangan natin sa board exam, particularly sa LET po. Number 18. A student will be selected from the table below. What is the probability that a male scholar student is selected? Did you go for 0.15, 20, 0.20, 0.25, or 55? Okay, so far I have 2 responses. Let's wait for a few more. Okay, let's see. Parang hindi pa siguro sure yung iba, no? Pero so far, sa mga sumagot, we had letter B so far to everyone who answered. But let's see, is B really correct? Don't worry po, you are free to give your own answer. Okay, marami din sa atin yung sumagot ng B. Let's see. To do such, kapag sinabi nating male scholar, is it understood to be male or scholar or male and scholar? Is it and or? Yung pagkakaintindi nyo dito. Is it understood to be intersection? Or is it understood to be the union? Male scholar.
Intersection yata sir.
Intersection. Tandaan po natin ha, male scholar, example sa scholar na lalaki, it's understood to be end. And when we say end, this is in fact a conjunction, so intersection. And we know that male scholars, there are 40 of them. But out of what?
200.
Out of the sum of 40,
200.
50, 45, and 55, which is tama po, 200. That's why there are 200 students and 40 are male scholars. So that's why that's 40 over 200, or you get 0.20 or 20% are male scholars. Letter B.
Bakit parang 190 lang po yung total ko?
Ay, baka mali yung pag-add ko. Saglit lang po
40,
Given na,
I made an inadvertence or I made an error. If you add 40, 45, 50, and 55, it's just 190 students. And since there are 40 male scholars, that's 40 over 190. And expressing this in 2 decimal places, you get approximately 0.21% that are male scholars. And since 0.21 is not among the choices, we will go with letter E. So thank you so much to our students for noticing the said error. Okay, thank you po. Okay, so far may sumagot ba ng E sa inyo? Oh, meron. So we have
Opo,
Sir
sir.
McBrien, we have Ma'am Rio, Sir, we have Rio, we have Ampaso, Ma'am Pinelda as well. Nalakimatan yan ni Sir McBrien. Okay, sana all. Okay, sige po. No problem po. Salamat po. Okay, number 19. Niround nung iba sa sa 20.20. Okay, sorry po. If an isosceles triangle has a vertex angle measuring 134 degrees, what is the measure of each of the other two? 21, 46, 42, or 23? What do you think po? Okay, so maraming sumagot. There are 7 of you at least. Letter D, let's see if you got it. So if we let x to be the measure of each base angle in degrees, then tandaan po natin that a certain what they call this, a certain isosceles triangle has 2 base angles that are equal with one another. That's why we have 134 plus x equals 180, because the sum of all the measures of a triangle, of the angles of a triangle, the interior angles add up to 180. That is in a Euclidean plane. So x plus x is 2x, and subtracting both sides by 134 gives you 2x equals 46. Dividing both sides by 2 gives you x as 23. Hence, bawat base angle po ay 23 degrees. Letter D. Okay, madali lang po siya. Okay? Marami po sa atin ang nakakuha. Tama po, Sir McBrien. Tama po. So the simple thing that you have to do is just subtract 180 by 34 at saka divide na lang po direkta by 2. Kasi dalawa po yung base angles natin. Dog. D. 20. The probability that a man will be alive in 2/5, alive in 25 years is 3/5. And that of his wife is 2/3. What is the probability that both will be alive in 25 years? Did you go for 1/5, 2/5, 50%, or 100%? Okay. Okay, marami po yata nagtatanong sa inyo, no, kung pwede yung FX-991ES na calc. So check po ninyo, ha. May mga pagkakataon po na I think pwede siya dati, hindi lang po ako sure. Ngayon po ata parang nag-restrict na po sila sa mga functions, no. So check po ninyo yung calculator ninyo. Okay, did you go for that one? Which of this? Sumagot ng B, 20B daw. Pag may solar, hindi na pwede. Okay. Noted po. So yung FX991ES at saka FX991ES Plus ay hindi na pwede. Okay. Sige po. That's a good info po. Thank you. Ngayon, B nga ba? Ano pong ginawa ninyo sa 3/5 at saka sa 2/3?
Sir, the probability of individual events is equal to P of A multiplied by P of B minus P union A of A union P of B. Pero 0 po ang P of A union B. So, multiply mo lang sila dalawa.
So we have to multiply them. Okay, tama po. Because if you have the probability of independent events, if you have their intersection, here now, then the probability of A intersection B is simply equal to the probability of A multiplied by the probability of B rather. And in this case, yung probability of A, yun yung alive yung isa, yung lalaki. In
Yan, sir,
25
ikaw hindi
years.
lalasunin muna ng babae yung lalaki.
At saka yung B ay 2/3. Huwag ganun, sir. Okay? Naka-iPhone ka lang, ganyan ka na. Char lang. Okay. So that's why, multiplying the two probabilities, we have 3/5 times 2/3. So you could actually divide the 3 and 3 here, so that becomes 1. And what's left is 2/5 or 2/5. That's why letter D po talaga, 2/5 yung ating tamang sagot. Ay, Ma'am Janine, okay po, noted po. Sige, God bless po, ma'am. Hoping po na bumalik na po yung kaagad yung kuryente po sa inyo. Hoping po. Okay, so from time to time, it's better also to check our chat po, no? Kasi it's not only me, it's also your classmates who are updating you with some info regarding calculator use. So please make sure po ninyo na yung calculator na gagamitin ninyo ay in accordance to the list provided by the PRC po. Salamat. Okay, 2/5. 21. If A plus B equals 3 and AB equals 4, what's the value of A squared plus B squared? Okay, what do you think? Okay, we have 7 so far. Okay. Maraming sumagot sa inyo ng E. Meron ding sumagot ng A. Tama nga ba si E? So if you could notice, you might ask, parang wala naman yatang real number na kapag in-add mo 3, na kapag multiply mo 4. So what's the value of A squared and B squared? So that's why some of you answered E. Tignan po natin kung E ay tama. Actually, the technique here is plain algebra. Remember po that we are allowed whatever operation po or kung ano po yung ginamit natin sa left-hand side, it's better also to use that same operation on the right-hand side. That actually preserves equality. That's why I squared both sides of the first equation, a plus b equals 3. And squaring the left-hand side, ano pong square ng a plus b?
A squared plus 2ab plus b squared.
Tama. How about ito naman ay 9. That's why you have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared equals 9. Ano po kayang next na gagawin natin?
Substitute si AB, sir. Sa 4.
Tama po. Di ba
Tama
meron
po
po
yun.
tayong AB
Tama
na
nga
4?
naman.
Di ba?
Yes po.
So if we substitute this AB with 4, it becomes a squared plus 2 times 4 plus b squared equals 9. 2 times 4 is 8. So a squared plus 8 plus b squared ay magiging 9. And subtracting both sides by 8, it will give you a squared plus b squared equals 1. So, may sagot nga ba sa choices o wala?
Meron. Ang galing naman ni ma'am.
Meron letter A po.
Merong letter A. See? In this case po kasi, kapag nagtuturo ka po sa MTAC, minsan po sa mga MMC or sa other competitions, they actually present you some solutions like this. That's why po, for this problem po kasi, hindi naman po kasi sinasabi sa problem na dapat real siya, di ba? It's not a requirement for it to be a real number based on the problem. So most likely
Galing naman ni
po,
Sir Bernie.
sana all. That's why in this problem po, A and B are not necessarily real. I think they are complex numbers, I believe. O baka imaginary. Yung may mga I po na mga numbers. Pero hindi ko po talaga, notice po, no, we did not really look for the exact value of A and B. But algebra, substitution, it's very helpful. So we are sure na 1. We don't know what A and B are, but at least we know that A squared plus B squared is equal to 1. So letter A po talaga. So sa lahat ng sumagot ng A, we have Ma'am Riza, Ma'am Bernie, Edi Wow. Congratulations.
Sir
po.
daw siya, ma'am. Sir Bernie.
Sir Bernie po pala. Sorry po. May ano po kasi may kilala po kasi sa amin. Bernie din po yung pangalan pero babae po. So sorry. Sorry po.
Ikuan niya, sir, si Bernie Varga.
Okay lang, sir.
No problem, sir.
Okay.
Lalaki tayo.
Hmm.
Yun. Let's have number 22. The number of hours spent for review in algebra, chemistry, and English is in the ratio 4 to 3 to 1. How many hours does each student spend for chemistry in a 24-hour review package? 9, 3, 6, or 12? Baka hindi na siya natutulog, no? 24 hours talaga. Joke lang. Hindi naman niya sinabi na buong araw siya mag-review, di ba? Siguro this 9 hours will be staggered or spent on different days. Sige. Your answer is... Okay, marami sa atin yung sumagot ng A. Sir Rio? Rio, lalaki rin ba ito, no? Tama? Sir Rio? Hatulan? Okay, sorry po. Kasi meron tayong Rio Luxin, babae. So, Sir Rio. Okay, noted po. Salamat. So, for this case, take note po, hindi ko po intention. Okay, sorry po. So, in this case, it's understood na ano. This is an example of a problem that involves what kind of proportion?
Partitive, sir.
Tama po. This is partitive. This is involving partitive proportion. When we speak about partitive proportion, you are going to divide a certain number or determine, divide them into a certain ratio or part them into based on a certain given ratio. Now, we know that it's 4-3-1. And yung ilang parts yung chemistry dito?
3.
3. Kasi dapat in order din. Sabi dito, algebra, chemistry, English. So it's understood the 4 parts sa algebra, 3 parts sa chemistry, at saka 1 part sa English. Di po ba? Kaya, yung mangyayari po dito, we know that in a 24-hour period, it is divided into 4 plus 3 plus 1 or 8 equal parts. So dividing 24 by 8 gives you 3 hours per part. At dahil po dyan, we know that there are 3 parts are dedicated for chemistry. That's why we will what? We will multiply these 2 3s. Therefore, that's 3 times 3 or 9 hours. That will be dedicated for chemistry review. So kung sinagot niyo po yung letter A, great job po. Tama. Okay, so I hope na nakuha po natin. 9 hours. Okay. 23. If one side of a square is doubled in length and the adjacent side is decreased by 10 cm, the area of the resulting rectangle is 96 square centimeters larger than the original square. Find the dimensions of the square. Did you go for 10 by 10, 17 by 17, 24 by 24, or 16 by 16? Let's wait for a few more answers. Take your time. Okay, so far 2 have given. Okay, we have 4 people. Your answers, okay, there are a few, there's more. Ang hirap nito, inala. Okay, 4 by 4. May sumagot din na trial and error, okay, 96, okay. May sumagot ng D, 16 by 16, 10 by 10, 17 by 17, 24 by 24, or 16 by 16. Okay, we have one more response. Letter D daw, okay. Okay, so yung iba siguro medyo nahihirapan. It's okay po, no? So in this case, it's very important for us to have your algebra. Or kung kaya po ninyong i-trial and error, gawin po ninyo. For now, I will be doing algebra here. Sige, may 3 pang nag-comment, may 4. 16 times 16 daw, o 256, okay. Pero may sumagot ng C, mayroon ding sumagot ng D. Tingnan natin. Ngayon, if we let X to be the side of your square, tandaan po natin, no? Diba? To get the area, sabi niya, the first side will be doubled. The first dimension will be doubled. So that's why from X na side, naging 2X siya. And that same side X, yung isang dimension naman, niya naman, ay sinubtract natin by 10. That's why the other side of your rectangle now will be X minus 10. And to get the area of your rectangle, of course, that's length times width. That's why 2X times the quantity X minus 10 here represents the area of your rectangle. Yung left side, area ng rectangle yan. Pero sabi niya, the area of a rectangle should be 96 square centimeters more than the area of a square. Di ba? Yung area ng square is side times side or x squared. But it's 96 more than x squared. So this is our working equation, which is 2x times the quantity x minus 10. It's equal to x squared plus 96. So with that, pakisolve po ninyo kung ano yung tamang sagot. Sige. 4 and negative 24 daw. X equals 24. Bawal pong negative, ha? So, distributing the left-hand side, we have 2x squared minus 20x equals x squared plus 96. Tapos, subtracting both sides by x squared and 96. That's why the plus 96 on the right became minus 96 on the left. That's why you have the equation x squared minus 20x minus 96 equals 0, which is in fact factorable as x minus 24 times x plus 4 equals 0. And by the zero property of multiplication, kailangan po nating i-multiply. I mean, we have to equate each of these factors to 0. So if x minus 24 equals 0, that's x equals 24. Your x sub 1 as 24. And x plus 4 equals 0, or your x sub 2 is negative 4. However po, the value of the length of a certain side cannot be negative. That's why the negative 4 is an extraneous root. Kapag sinabi po natin extraneous, extra, no? So you got this result out of doing certain calculations or manipulations of the equation, but do not satisfy the conditions set in the study or in the problem. Hence, it's a 24 by 24 square. You have letter C. Okay? Do you have questions po or clarification? Ay, may 24 pala na choice, Char. Opo. Baka balik po, Sir Freddy, baka ano po, baka baliktad po yung pag-factor ninyo. So, check niyo lang po, ha. Sabi niya kasi larger than the original, eh. Oo. So, minsan talaga, no, hindi natin siya masasolve kung may mga bagay-bagay tayo hindi nakita. Minsan, kung may information tayo nakaligtaan, minsan yung maliit pa na info na yun, yung yung dahilan kung bakit di natin makuha. Sa math kasi, especially in word problems, no information is too little. Information, no matter how little, is important. So, sige lang po, no problem po. Yung mahalaga, at least na nakita po ninyo in the end. Okay po. Okay. Yan nga, no? Minsan may mga bagay-bagay talagang hindi natin nakikita. Parang ako, Char, hindi. Number, so let's letter C po. 24. Okay. 24A daw. Factor completely the expression x cubed minus 6x squared plus 4x minus 24. Let's see yung ano. May sumagot ng D, may sumagot ng A. Okay po, doon po rin po Ma'am Yulaisa, Loren. No? So okay lang po. Iba yung solution nyo, yung mahalaga, tama po yung sagot natin. A nga ba o D? So, okay, may I ask po, ano po yung ginawa ninyo?
Ano po,
Factoring
sir?
by grouping.
Tama po, no? Yung iba, alam po yung ginawa ng iba. Siguro yung ginawa ng iba ay nag-factoring by grouping. Yung iba naman siguro, minultiply nyo. Tapos, kung ano yung nag-coincide sa given expression, yun yung sagot nyo. Correct me if I'm wrong po. Tama ho ba? Let's see. Okay, isa-isa. Tama. Sabi ni Ma'am Fernanda, i-multiply niya. Mas okay. Okay, so depende po, no? Depende po sa ating, sa atin. So, actually, no problem po. But this time, I will present to you a method called factoring by grouping. Especially po, no? Factoring by grouping may be useful, especially if you have 4 terms. Minsan applicable, minsan po hindi. In this case, it is applicable. So to do factoring by grouping, what I did here is that I grouped the first 2 terms by placing them inside the parentheses. Then plus ko sa gitna. Then I also placed the 4x minus 24 in parentheses. Tingnan po ninyo yung first group na x cubed minus 6x squared. Ano po yung GCF ng x cubed at saka negative 6x squared po? Yung greatest
X
common
squared.
factor. Tama. So x squared.
X squared.
X squared po, no? So kapag finactor out po natin si x squared, ano pong matitira sa loob? That would be?
X minus 6.
Tama po. X minus 6. So yung ito po, yung unang group ay magiging x squared times the quantity x minus 6. How about yung sa kabilang group po? Magiging ano to?
Tomorrow.
4 by x
4
minus 6.
times x minus 6.
Tama po. You could actually factor out 4 here. 4x divided by 4 is x. Negative 24 divided by 4 is negative 6. That's why ito po yung resulting value niya. Now, may nakikita ba kayong parehas sa kanila?
X minus 6 po.
Tama. So x minus 6 is common. So again, x minus 6 is your GCF or greatest common factor. So we will take out x minus 6 and what will remain inside the other parenthesis?
X squared.
X squared.
Squared plus 4.
Tama po. That's why factoring out x minus 6, this expression divided by x minus 6 is x squared. The other one, 4 quantity x minus 6 divided by x minus 6, it's x squared plus, it's 4. So x squared plus 4. Matanong ko lang po, tingnan po ninyo, that's letter A po. So sa lahat ng sumagot ng A, mabuti, magaling. Okay, sige po. Buti unang try, tinamaan agad. Tama po yun. No? Kasi minsan po, kapag sa di pa po siya tumama, matatagalan po talaga tayo. Okay, isa-isa, multiply. Yun din na kailangan isa-isahin. Baka kasi di pa yung final answer time consuming. Okay po. Okay, tanong ko lang po dito po sa first step na to, tanungin ko po kayo, may ilang terms dito? How many terms are there in this expression? There are how many terms?
4.
There are 4 terms. How about sa second expression po? How many terms are there?
2.
2 only. Be careful kapag nilagyan mo na siya ng parentheses, 1 term ito. How about dito sa third step, ilang terms?
4 ulit.
Ulit, sir.
4 ba to?
4,
4 or 2?
2.
2 lang. Because remember, product of polynomials is considered as 1 term. So x squared times x minus 6 is just 1 term. 4 times x minus 6 is another term. So 1 term din. Kasi may plus dito. How about sa last step? X minus 6 times the quantity x squared plus 4. Ilang terms yan?
2.
Sure kayo na 2 terms yan?
1 na lang.
Ilang
One
terms
na lang.
yung last step?
1.
1 na
Three.
lang. 1 po. 1 term lang po ito. Bakit kasi? Product of polynomials is 1 term. Tandaan po natin yan. Basta, pero unless kung meron pong plus o minus dito, so magiging 2 terms yan. Pero wala multiply If you have multiplication, so 1 term lang po ito. I hope po na nag-gets po natin. Tandaan po yung definition. Okay. Welcome po. Ma'am, Sir Rio. Okay. Okay, dumako naman po tayo sa number 25. What is the circumference of a circle that can be cut from a square that has a perimeter of 12 cm? Use pi equals 3.14. Ano nga ba yung formula for circumference?
2 pi r, sir.
Okay, 2 pi r ba o pi r squared? It is 2 pi
2 pi
r.
r.
2 pi
Yung
r.
pi r squared, yan yung area. So, we know that each side of the square, di ba? Of course, knowing the perimeter of the square, we can determine the length of its side by dividing by 4. So, each side of a square is 3 cm. Pero tandaan po natin na dahil 3 cm yung side ng isang square at kapag nag-draw ka po, kung ano man po yung side ng square, sure po tayo, no? Kasi lahat ng sides the circle will intersect the square at 4 points. Tangent siya, di ba? Kapag sinabi nating tangent, it touches at exactly 1 point. That's why kung ano man mo yung length ng side ng square, yun din po yung length ng ating diameter. That's why the diameter of the circle is also 3 cm. Or, And also, we know that aside from 2 pi r, pwede rin pi d, di ba? Yung area. Yung circumference ng ating circle. That is why, by substitution, that's 3.14 times 3 cm. You have 9.42 cm, which is letter A. I hope na nakuha po natin. Okay, but I think sa lahat po ng sumagot, tama po kayo. Okay. Careful po. D is not 6, it's 3 po. Okay. Ayos. Sorry. Next step, next question. So letter A po. Okay. Simplify. A squared minus 5a divided by 5 minus a. Did you go for negative a? A minus 5. A or 5 minus a? What do you think? Let's wait for a few more responses. Okay, some more? All right, so far there are 12 responses. Let's see, let's open your answers. Okay, many of you answered letter A, although there are some who answered letter C. Okay, tignan natin. To do this one, I have a squared minus 5a all over 5 minus a. From here, we know that for your numerator, no, a squared minus 5a, the GCF of a squared and negative 5a is a. And factoring out a, we have a times a minus 5. But if you could see in our denominator, there is no a minus 5. But what we know is that we could factor negative 1 from the denominator, and dividing each term in the denominator by 5, by negative 1. 5 divided by negative 1 is negative 5. Negative a divided by negative 1 is plus a or positive a. With such, we could see that I copied everything except that I applied the commutative property of addition in the negative 5 plus a, making it a minus 5. So you could see the a minus 5s are cancelled, giving us a over negative 1, or that's negative a, letter A as well. Ayos. So sa lahat po ng sumagot ng A, good. May tanong po ba tayo or may proceed na po sa next slide? Proceed na po? Okay, sige. Proceed po tayo. 27. If x plus 1 over x equals 3, what is the value of x squared plus 1 over x squared? Did you go for 7, 8, 9, or 10? Let's see. May rami sa atin yung sumagot ng A. Okay. Okay? Sa inyong palagay po, bakit po A yung sagot?
Squared ulit yung ano sir, yung x plus 1 over x equals 3.
Yun po
Tama
sir,
po.
lumabas sa calcu.
Okay. Ay, sana all. Yan yung lumabas sa calculator na. Pero sa totoo lang, na-solve nyo ba siya gamit yung calculator ninyo?
Yes sir.
Okay, better po, no? So at least,
Masasolve mo siya kasi ano lang to sir, alpha x plus 1 over x alpha.
so yun yung
Alpha calc.
calculator that time, no? Na ginamit yung shortcut, no? Last time, in-encode din nyo siya. Tapos, you really solve for the value of
Calc
x.
mo lang
po.
sir, tapos substitute mo lang. Substitute mo lang ang value ng x sa second equation.
Tama. Pero nakakuha ba kayo ng ano, ng whole ng real number value o hindi?
Hindi, nakakuha sir, 7 talaga.
Pero real ang value ni x ba ay real o hindi?
Hindi sir, hindi. Na may point, ulitin natin sir. Ulitin.
Okay lang po, no problem po, no problem po. So hindi siya real, no?
Alpha x plus.
So hindi siya tunay.
1 over x. 1 divided by alpha x. Alpha calc. 3.
So ano pong lumabas?
So, ang value niya is 0.381.9. 0.3819.
So real number siya. May I
Okay.
ba o wala?
Wala. 0.381. 0.382
Okay.
sir. 0.382. Tapos substitute mo siya sa x squared plus 1 over x squared.
Okay. So yun yung ginawa ni Sir, no? Pero gusto ko rin yung isang idea ni Sir kanina na from the first equation, we could actually square both sides. Kasi nga, no, kung ano mang ginawa mo sa left, pwede din yun sa right. So squaring both sides kasi pwede siya kasi yung intention mo, di ba, maging ganito. So you have to square both sides. So squaring both sides. Okay, sige nga po. Ano pong sagot kapag square natin yung left-hand side? Ano po yung square ng x plus 1 over x?
Magiging ano na siya sir, 1 plus 1, x squared plus 2 over 1 over x squared sir.
Tama po. Di ba kapag nagsisquare tayo, yung first term is square mo, ito. Tapos twice plus, dahil plus ito, so plus din yan dito. Plus twice the product of the first and the second term, di po ba? Plus the square of your last term. Tapos, yung square ng 3 ay 9. Nakuha po natin so far? May tanong po ba tayo sa step na to o okay na? I think okay na siguro dahil walang tanong. Okay. Tapos, if you could see po dito sa middle term, no? Dito po, ang x times 1 over x will become 1. Assuming that x is not 0 po, and 2 times 1 will be 2. That's why the rest were copied. You have x squared plus 2 plus 1 over x squared equals 9. And since we need only x squared plus 1 over x squared, we have to subtract both sides with 2. Kaya po, x squared plus 1 over x squared equals 7. Or that's letter A nga po. Clear? Okay. Sige. Saglit. Okay, copy. Okay, sige, paste natin. 28. How long is the third side of the triangle if B equals 47, C equals 58, and A, capital A, is 63 degrees? Take note po, it's actually a convention, no, sa ating trigonometry. Kung small letters siya, it's understood na length yan ng isang side. Kung capital letter siya, that means it's the measure of an angle. So take note po that capital A is opposite of small letter a. The same thing is true with other sides, no? Yung small letter B opposite ng capital letter B. Yung small letter C opposite dapat ni capital letter C. So opposite side niya at saka opposite a certain angle and kanyang opposite side same letter, yung isa nga lang capital, yung isa hindi. So ang tanong, did you go for 48.29, 73.47, 55.66, or 57.87? May sabi ni Sir Freddy, ni Ma'am Hanilet, ni Ma'am Pinelda, letter C daw. Kayo po. Okay? So ano po kayang applicable dito na formula? Okay, may sumagot ng C.
By cosine law, sir.
Cosine law? Naniniwala pa kayo sa cosine law? Ako hindi char lang. Okay, tingnan po natin. Kung tama nga ba ang cosine law. Okay, ang mahalaga po dito siguro is i-drawing natin siya. So ito po yung illustration niya. Yung capital A, capital B, capital C. Tapos ito po yung kaniyang, notice nyo po, no, yung small a, opposite niya ng capital A, and so on po. So this is how the figure looks like. Ngayon, ang tanong ko lang po, when, kasi yung iba let's be honest, yung iba po sa atin, parang hindi po tayo sure kung law of sines or law of cosines. Take note po, meron na po tayong dalawang kondisyon kung saan ginagamit natin ang law of cosines. Ano po yung dalawang conditions na yun? Ano po dapat yung given? Ano po yung available information na given talaga?
Parang 2 sides and 1 angle po.
Tama? Pwedeng SAS. Tama po yan. Side, angle, side. Meron pang isa? Aside from SAS. Meron pa pong isa? And that is yung counterpart ng GSIS. Ano po yon? SSS. Okay po? Tandaan po natin. You can use the law of cosines if you are given SSS and SAS. The rest, law of sines po yan. I hope clear po sa atin. Ngayon, tignan po ninyo. Meron nga ba tayong SAS o SSS o wala?
Meron.
Meron. SAS, no? Ito, side, angle, sides. So you are given 2 sides and an included angle. So this, therefore, we could actually use the law of cosines. With such, this is your missing side by the law of cosines. So side A, it's equal to the square root of the sum of the two sides. So b squared plus c squared minus twice the product of these two sides and the cosine of the angle between them. By substitution po, ito ay magiging A is equal to the square root of the quantity 47 squared plus 58 squared minus 2 times 47 times 58 times cosine 63. Simplifying it will give you this one. Utilizing your calculator, it's approximately 55.66. Therefore, letter C po yung ating tamang sagot. So good job to everyone who answered C. C, you got it right. All right. 29. If the opposite sides of a quadrilateral are equal, then the figure is a, did you go for rectangle, rhombus, parallelogram, or square? Ano po yung sagot natin? Okay, let's see. May sumagot ng letter C, may sumagot ng letter A. May A nga ba o C o baka wala sa kanilang dalawa? So ito nga ba ay rectangle o ito nga ba ay parallelogram? And the correct answer is dun, 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 dun. Okay, marami. Yung iba may question mark, di yata sure. Okay, the correct answer here is when we say parallelogram, it is a general term for a quadrilateral with two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel and congruent. That's why sa lahat po ng sumagot ng letter C, tama po kayo. In fact, rectangles, rhombuses or rhombi, and squares are parallelograms. So that's why rectangle man yan, rhombus o parallel o square, sure po tayo that opposite sides are also parallel and equal. That's why we're looking here for a more general term. So in other words po, letter C po talaga yung tamang sagot natin. Okay po? So I hope settled na po ito ha. O ito pa po. Before I forget, what do you call a parallelogram with 4 equal sides? Sige nga po. Ito yung
Square.
Okay.
Square.
Halimbawa ito po. A parallelogram with 4 equal sides, it is called a
Square.
Rhombus.
rhombus. Nako, wag po kayong sumagot ng square. Ligwak ka learn kayo niyan.
Patay na tayo.
Be careful po. Be careful po. Rhombuses have the property of having 4 equal sides. Di ba yung rhombus, 4 equal sides? O ito naman po. What do you call a parallelogram with 4 right angles?
Square.
Square? And square
Rectangle
is?
siguro. Rectangle.
And square is? Ligwak ganun as well. It's rectangle. Be careful po. Rectangle, 4 right angles yon. Square, rhombus, 4 equal sides. Ano naman yung square? 4 right angles and 4 equal sides. Kapag binigay po yung characteristics na 4 right angles at saka 4 equal sides, yun po yung square. Kapag sinabing 4 equal angles, rectangle lang talaga. Kapag sinabing 4 equal sides, rhombus lang talaga. Okay? I hope na clear po natin. Ayos po? I hope na naunawaan po natin.
Dito talaga tayo sa definition papatayin.
Oo. Minsan, no? Lalo na kapag naka-iPhone ka. Okay, next. Number 30. Sorry po. Kaya nga, na-discuss ko na to dati, nakalimutan ng siguro. Number 30, the surface on the Earth between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle is called. Did you go for plane, circle, cone, or zone? Sige lang po. Yung mga tao talaga. So, di daw, zone nga ba? Let's see, lahat ata ng sumagot ay zone. So, don't worry po. Kapag sumagot kayo ng zone, hindi po kayo ligwak. Dahil ang tamang sagot ay zone. Kapag sinabi po nating plane, it actually refers to a flat surface. So, anything flat, plane po yon. Halimbawa po, no, yung blackboard natin, basta flat siya, yung top ng table, basta flat din yung table mo, so plane po yan. Yung circle naman is a set of points equidistant from a point called your center. A cone is a type of space figure, no? Having a circular base, for example, and having a point na may vertex siya, no? Tapos yung zone naman, it's any 5 of the great divisions of the Earth's surface with respect to latitudes and temperature. So yan po. So zone po yung ating tamang sagot. Letter C nga ba yun? C nga ba yun? And the correct answer is letter D. Okay po. True. May ganito din po sa Gen Ed. Sige lang po. Okay po. Time check, 9 o'clock na. Ang bilis ng oras. Nako. Saglit lang po So, we end for now here. And I hope na may na-learn po kayo.